If I can, I'd like to introduce, you've already met Matt Garvey, our VP of Communication. David Epps on our team is the COO of the Bowl. John Mattiola, in charge of sponsorships at Chick-fil-A, is joining us, and Jackie Jaggs, there's Jackie, with PR with Chick-fil-A. And also would like to thank the local Chick-fil-A for bringing lunch today. So thank you very much for being here, guys. Appreciate it. You know, we pride ourselves on being full of Southern hospitality. We like to think we have the best staff in the bowl business. We know we have the best volunteers and undoubtedly the best sponsor. The second longest sponsor in all of bowl games is Chick-fil-A. And they're the underpinning of a lot of college football you see week to week. So we're very blessed in Atlanta to have that kind of staff and volunteer and partnership with our title sponsor. Just an overview of our game. You know, obviously number 4 Washington versus number 1 Alabama. In the semifinal game, Washington at 12-1, 8-1. Alabama at 13-0, 8-0. Excuse me, I've got a cold, so if I sniff here, I apologize. We think it's the best matchup of the bowl season. You know, they say great fights are made from styles. And you have the number 1 defense in the country against the number 4 scoring offense. You have in Washington the number 1 team in turnover margin and number 10 in defense. We have 16 all SEC and all Pac-12 first-team players playing in this game, and 5 national award winners. We have the Pac-12 Player of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, the Freshman of the Year. We have the SEC Freshman of the Year and the SEC Player of the Year on offense. And it all starts with the coaches. To have Chris Peterson and Nick Saban, 2 winners of the Dodd Trophy, which is the most coveted college coaching award in the country, basically because it's built on scholarship, leadership, and integrity. We have 2 coaches that do it the right way. And not only are they great coaches on the field, but what they do off the field is very meaningful to the game of college football. And we're humbly very proud to host both Coach Peterson and Coach Saban and their teams. I would like to also tell you a little bit about the bowl game. I don't think we've had a Pac-12 since 1970 when Arizona State, when they probably weren't even in the Pac-12 then, playing our game. So this is kind of great for us to be in the college football playoff now. We've had a Big 12 team. We had an American Athletic last year with Houston, and now we have the Pac-12 joining us in Atlanta. But we'll play at noon on December 31st on ESPN, and the road to the national championship comes through Atlanta this year. This will be the most significant college football game ever played in Atlanta until next year when we host the national championship game in Atlanta. Everything we've done as a bowl over our 49-year history is to get ready for this game. And so we take great pride in being a New Year's 6 game now, and mentioned in the same sentence with the rose and the sugar and the orange and the cotton. Bowls that are 82 to 102 years old. You guys know the Rose Bowl very well, obviously at 102 years old. And we're only 49 years old, so we're the kind of the baby. But we take great pride in all the effort and hard work we've put in, and we'll look forward to hosting the media, the administration, the team, the fans of the Dogs. So we're one of the most competitive bowl games in the country. 54% of our games have been decided by a touchdown or less. And our team payout will be $6 million, $4 million to the team, and $2 million in travel expenses. And we were built in 1968 to be a charitable bowl game, and we take that very serious in our mission. Since 2002, we've given away $21 million back to scholarship and charitable donations to various schools around the country and to our state of Georgia. This year, we'll give $1.7 million out, just this year alone. And for this game, we'll give $100,000 between us and Chick-fil-A. Will combine together, give $100,000 in an endowed scholarship to the president of the University of Washington, and we'll start an endowed scholarship here at UW. So with all that background on our game and an official welcome, we're really here to hear about Coach Peterson and from AD Jen Cohen. So I'd like to officially, hopefully she will accept this. This is a letter of invitation to play in the 49th Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, the college football semifinal game. So Jen? There you go. Hopefully you accept.
We accept, yeah. Thank you so much, Gary. And University of Washington is just thrilled and honored to be able to play in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl and to be playing in the college football playoff. And it's a real honor for our university, and we're really looking forward to a first-class experience for our student athletes and for our coaches and our fans in Atlanta. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, Coach Peterson, we'll take a statement from you, maybe talk about the selection and the matchup, and looking forward to being in Atlanta.
Yeah, we're extremely excited to be going. We're not so thrilled about the matchup.
Best I could do.
Yeah, no, we are. We're excited, and we're so pleased and proud. Really, one of our players. How hard those guys have worked, how far we've come in a pretty short period of time. Our coaches as well. I mean, I think this whole crew has been very, very driven to get to this point, and we're excited. I mean, we know the challenge that we have coming in terms of Alabama. We've seen the tape. Our guys haven't seen a whole lot of it yet. They're finishing up finals this week, but our coaches have, and it is one heck of a team. It'll be a tremendous challenge. But I've said this before, I mean, that's why these kids came to Washington, whether we play in this very challenging league, to get an opportunity to play some programs outside of our conference that are as renowned as Alabama. And then to have this type of team, I think this is, one of the better teams that Coach Saban's had since he's been there, and that says a lot. And so it'll be it's an exciting time for us. It'll be an exciting game. I'm really excited to see our guys compete at this level. Every time that they've been challenged, they've really risen up and performed well. And we'll have to be at our best to do what we want to do, for sure.
All right, thanks for that, Coach. We'll save some time for Q&A with all three at the end. But right now, I'll kick it back to Gary to talk a little bit about our bowl week experience and what the players will expect while they're in Atlanta.
And if I can, before I do that, you should know that Coach Pete is 1-0 in the Georgia Dome. So he likes playing in the Georgia Dome. He beat a highly ranked team in Georgia in the 2011 Chick-fil-A kickoff game. And the other thing is we really look forward to hosting everybody back in 2018 for our Chick-fil-A kickoff game against Auburn, which we think will be a tremendous way to start the season for college football for University of Washington and Auburn. So Coach Peterson mentioned the players. Everything that we've done as a bowl game, we focus on as a reward for the players. We do a great job with the fans, and we love hosting people Southern hospitality-wise, but everything we do, the events we do for the bowl game are built for the players. They're the ones that during the winter, the spring, the summer, they give up their time, they're working out, and so we want to make special memories for them. So we use the theme, live, laugh, and learn. The players are going to live great. They're going to stay in a beautiful hotel. They're going to go to great events. They're going to get great gifts. They're going to eat great food like Chick-fil-A. They're going to play in great facilities. So they're going to live really, really good that week. Laugh, we don't have banquets. We have a battle for bowl week. Yeah. We have a battle for bowl week, and we have a 30-pound WWE belt that the players will compete every night after they've had practice and films and meetings and everything. We want to give them a little levity. So, and if you talk to players, all they want to do is compete. It doesn't matter whether it's ping pong or whatever. So they're going to go kart racing, they're going to bowl, they're going to make Chick-fil-A milkshakes, they're going to have a family feud, and they're going to shoot basketball. Those are the 5 events. So Coach Pete, you got to get them practicing that as well. Might take maybe 5-minute practice.
They practice that stuff all year round. We'll be fine.
One note on that, I will note, the winner of the Battle for Bowl Week belt has gone on to win the game 6 straight years. So don't take it lightly now, Coach. That's a big deal.
We're going to switch our practice plan here.
Coach Pete will have 1 period a day and practice all these Battle for Bowl Weeks. But so, that's the laugh part. We want them to have fun. And then the learn part, we take it very seriously that these are student athletes. They're young people, and we want to create memories. So there's two special things that we do. I think the one thing is the best thing in the bowl business. We'll bring both teams into Ebenezer Baptist Church, where Dr. King actually was pastor and spoke from the pulpit. And both teams sitting together, we're going to have Congressman Lewis, who, if you've seen the movie Selma, he led the march across the Selma Bridge, and Dr. Vivian, who just last year won the Presidential Medal of Honor from President Obama. And both of them were in the executive committee with Dr. King in the Civil Rights Movement. Excuse me. And to hear Congressman Lewis talk at 19 years old to all the student athletes who are 19, 20 out there, when he was in charge of the students movement, and before he walked across the Selma Bridge, he put on a backpack. Well, every one of those kids sitting out in the pews there has a backpack on, right? And he put a book, toothpaste, toothbrush, and an apple in that backpack because he knew he was going to jail as he led the march across the bridge. He marched across the bridge, hit over the head, concussion, bleeding. He didn't get rushed to the hospital, he got rushed to jail. And to hear those kind of stories, and to hear a lot of the student athletes ask questions afterwards and thank Congressman Lewis and Dr. Vivian for the opportunities that now exist for them, it's pretty powerful. Very, very learning, memorable experience. And then secondly, we take the kids during that time to give back. And the kids in Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, 3, 4, 5 years old, some of them, they didn't get out of that hospital for Christmas, and they're never going to get out of that hospital. And so to see these big guys come in and spend some time to make those kids' day for an hour, is really, really special during the Christmas season. So those are two things we do about learning, for the kids to learn to give back during that time. So we think our Bowl Week is really, really special, and I know the players are going to enjoy that. And finally, a little bit about what you'll see in Atlanta. We have a short video that, if you'll watch the screen, and Matt, we could play that. It'll give you a little idea of how we feel about this game and how fired up we are about it.
It's called the goal line for a reason. It's the final play of that long drive. When years of planning and execution finally pay off. When big-time players make big-time plays. When everything comes together. And for the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, our goal line is in sight. This is the year the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl plays on the biggest stage of all, when we host our first college football playoff semifinal, and the road to the national championship goes through Atlanta. In the first 2 years of the college football playoff, the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl has seen national powers and Cinderella stories. We set a new standard for team and fan experience, earning recognition from those closest to the sport. Everything we did, we took to a higher level. And now we've refined the playbook for the most important game in our history. A trip to Atlanta truly is a reward for the players, where exceptional events create memorable experiences, where entertainment meets inspiration. Players live, laugh, and learn, and we deliver college football's best bowl week. And as much as Bowl Week is about the teams, it's also a celebration for the fans. Fans will feel college football in every detail, in every moment, in every way. This is the year the best teams in the country will share one goal: to play in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, where 2 of the nation's top 4 teams will play on the brightest stage in college football. Our time has finally come. It's 2016. This is our goal line. It's our time to make a play.
if I can, for the fans too, one, the College Football Hall of Fame is now in Atlanta, which is a great place for all the fans to get an experience of University of Washington, but also get a complete experience of college football. Secondly is our game day starts with a parade that will go through Centennial Olympic Park and right into Fan Fest. And at Fan Fest, the band, the Washington band and cheerleaders will be on the stage, and the team will actually walk through with Coach Peterson through the fans. The last people they'll see are their families before they walk into the Georgia Dome to go into the locker room. So it's kind of a unique day, unique experience for not only the players, but the players' families, and for the fans to get ready to kick off December 31st. So.
Thanks, everybody. All right, we'll go ahead and open it up for questions right now. We are going to keep Gary afterwards to do one-on-ones if anybody would like to talk to Gary then. But for Jennifer and Coach, we're going to open it up for Q&A. Go ahead.
Chris, when you were at Boise State, you had this wonderful ability to completely block out the media. Your players didn't pay attention to the media. One of your Boise State kids told me when you guys beat Oklahoma, he had no idea that you guys were supposed to lose that game. We're in an era now where everyone has social media. You can't, kids watch TV. How are you making sure that they are blocking it out, that they're not paying attention to the hype of Alabama? Is that something you can realistically do nowadays?
No, we're not trying to block it out, and I don't think that's realistic, just like you're saying. So we just talk to our kids all the time about where they need to focus. They're going to hear it. They're going to know what everybody says for the most part. But what do we think about? What do we pay attention to? Where do we focus? How do we treat all this attention coming their way? And they've been great about it because it's been since the summertime. We had a lot of focus on us, really undeservedly so, and they understood that. And so that was really obnoxious and annoying to a lot of us. And then they started to play good and win games and, earn some of that attention. But then we just talked about how we keep that in check and what's really important. And so they've been great about it. But we don't ignore it. We don't just block it out. I don't think it's realistic. But we do try to figure out how to keep straight on the train track, so to speak.
Chris, I don't know if anything's changed. I know you can't talk about any specific kids, but you've had this last week or so to be able to go out on the road and recruit. You missed the championship game. Yeah. You missed that weekend. But how is there a different energy from maybe some of the recruits? Are you hearing some different things out there in the recruiting trail now that all these things are happening?
I think it's such a process. I really don't. I think there's been great buzz since we came here. That's why we're playing in this game, because we got really good players 3 years ago. And so I think it's you stick to your process, you recruit the right kids. Washington sells itself in so many ways when these kids just do their homework. I think now the football part of things they're starting to understand and get. But I think it's more than just coming here for big-time football, and I've said that from the start. And so I don't think it's like, okay, now here we are. I think the football part, they're really starting to see and believe what we've been talking about, so that's nice. But this is just only part of coming to Washington. This is half the deal. The other half is everything we've been saying from the start, and that's why a lot of these good players have come here the last couple years anyways.
Coach, does this feel at all like the Oklahoma game when you were heavy underdogs? Does it have the same feeling whatsoever?
I don't even remember that. It was so long ago. So, I just know it's a big game, and we've played in a lot of big games over the years, and we played in some big games this year. And I know usually when we play in games like that, our guys maybe are a little more on point, and you can feel like a little different energy and those type of things. So that's nice to be involved with that. But like I've said, I think these kids, the reason we're playing in this game is because they've done such a great job all year long. They haven't missed a beat. Even when, we played SC and didn't play our best, I mean, they were preparing hard and they were focused on the right things, and you play good teams and sometimes it doesn't all go your way, but it's been good all year long, and we'll get through our finals this week and then get refocused in.
That bowl game against Oklahoma was your first as a head coach. How has you and your staff's bowl game prep kind of evolved, and in what ways has it evolved since that first game that you were in charge?
Yeah, you got so much time on your hands. It's a lot of time to, sometimes you get out of your routine of like making decisions, and you have all this time to look at all this tape, and sometimes that can almost be paralyzing, I think. And so one thing that we, do a little different is we really always pay attention to ourselves first and foremost, and then get on to the, the game planning aspect of things. So, that's one thing that might be slightly different just in terms of how we focus with all this time that we have on our hands.
You guys go down Christmas Day, is that right, when you guys leave for Atlanta? And
Yep.
Is there a practice site picked out yet? I'm sure there is, and how much access do you have to the Georgia Dome for that?
Yeah, I think we're there. I think we're there in it maybe 3 times, two practices, and then I think we'll practice a couple times at Georgia State. We're still kind of exactly mapping that out, but that's what it looks like is going to happen with the schedule that we have.
Jen, when you guys hired Chris, did he, in his interview, lay out a plan of, in X number of years, I think we can be here? And are you ahead of schedule?
Neither one of us have ever really talked about an end goal. I mean, he's all about the process, and so are we. I mean, we're all here to help kids get better and to improve and become the best they can be in all aspects of what they're doing here. And so certainly winning championships is part of that equation, but it's really much more about the day-to-day process. And so he shared with us how he approaches that. And then since he's been here, we've all had the luxury, in my opinion, the gift to be able to watch him do what he does with student athletes. It's been remarkable. So we're extremely pleased and happy with where we are. But like we've talked about, we're just getting going here. So we want to keep this thing rolling.
Jen, I know we've asked you about the difficulties of scheduling and the future and all that stuff. As the season has gone on and the successes have continued to go, have you found it easier? The door's been a little easier to open in terms of this, like the 2018 game, for instance, getting invited to that and maybe looking at other future events?
Yeah, that was great when Gary talked with us about that opportunity. It's a big time game, and we're looking for those types of opportunities. Scheduling is complex. I've told you guys that before. I'm going to continue to remind you of that. It's just a complicated process. Certainly for schools that are looking for a high quality opponent, I mean, we have that at offer. We also think we have an unbelievable, greatest setting in college football for folks to come and play in. And so we're hopeful that that will continue to encourage folks to want to do home and homes with us.
Can you talk a little bit about some of the seniors and how they're approaching this game? Some of these guys you didn't recruit, just how they've evolved and how much this means to them.
Yeah, well, I don't know. You'd have to ask them that. But I really appreciate those guys. And I've said that all along. Those are some of my, these kids are awesome. We love them. And these kids that are seniors and been here before I got here, I have a really special place in my heart for those guys, because there's a lot of guys that are not here that, it always works out how it's supposed to be. The guys, not everybody can do this. And in some ways we take pride in that. If everybody can do this, we don't have this thing set up right. I mean, this thing is for the special and the few. And when they do it right, I think you see what can happen here. And so I'm really, really proud of those guys that have, nobody likes change, but change is all about growth. And I think these kids have grown tremendously going through a change and are in a much different, mindset. To go through hard stuff, because it's, change can be hard and on everybody, but when you do it the right way, there's a tremendous benefit at the end.
Kept a sense of humor about the challenge of preparing for Alabama and obviously how good they are and everything, but as you've sat down and studied them, I mean, how different of a challenge is this than what you've seen this season?
Probably the best college team I've seen. I mean, so what can you do but keep humor about it? I mean, it's, these are some top to bottom. I mean, there's no weaknesses out there. There's no players well, he's a freshman. If he's a freshman, he's a freshman All-American that, was a whatever star recruit. And then they're good. I mean, he's just, they're coached well, and the thing that I'm is impressed with anything about that program is how they recruit. And so they get they get great talent, and then he does a great job with the culture of their program and playing hard and all those things. There's no weaknesses, But that's okay. I mean, it's going to challenge us to be at our best and see, what we look like when we're at our best and where we are in our evolution of playing against the best.
Jay, can you talk about how many tickets you guys have sold?
Fans have been awesome. I don't have a number for you, but we just opened up sales for Husky fans and aren't season ticket holders today, so we expect to go through the rest of our allotment by the end of this week. Yeah. They've been incredible. Atlanta's a great city. It's also geographically a little ways away for our fans, and they've really stepped up, but Husky fans have stepped up all season long for us.
Hey, Chris, after the USC game, you talked about, you guys were defensively, you had lost Joe that week, and you goes down in that game and plug in the younger guys. They've obviously improved. How much better can you guys get this month when you have almost a full month of practice?
Yeah, well, I sure hope, and we need to get better for sure, but I sure hope. I mean, that's the one thing that we told our guys. We're not going to do this bowl preparation where we're wearing our guys out. I mean, we're very mindful of that. And so with that being said, when we go to practice, when we go to lift weights, when we go to run, I mean, we need these guys on point. They're doing a little lifting and a little running only during the finals week on their time. But I don't want them coming in here just going through the motions and just that was kind of a good workout. I mean, it needs to be to build skill and improve. And so we need to get better by the time we play. And so, I think they'll be on point with that. But it's also, the fine line with, how much do you really get after it in live situations and all that. I mean, there's a delicate balance to how to get better and get ready to play for that game that I think all coaches are really trying to figure out the right balance of that. But we, without question, need to not waste 1 second of meeting time or 1 second of practice time, because we're not gonna be out there 15 practices and these long practices where it's another spring practice under our belt. That's just not our style.
Chris, players that are either redshirting and or hurt, I guess, Joe, Azim, like that, will they all go with you down there to Atlanta, or do you?
Yeah, everybody will go for the most part. There may be an exception or two that doesn't go if they have something else going on. But I mean, I think everybody wants to be part of this, and yeah.
It's the same situation with Joe and Azim as far as their availability. Nothing's changed there.
No, they're not playing. Yeah.
We got time for 2 more questions, guys, and then again, we'll have Gary available afterwards.
Chris, when Gary mentioned about football, you lit up. I mean, with the Husky Olympics and all this,
yeah.
it kind of falls in line with what you...
Yeah, he doesn't know we're already good at that stuff, so. No, it's fun. And so I've been a part of one of, Gary's games, not a bowl game, but the Chick-fil-A Kickoff Classic back there, and it's first class. It's awesome. They pride themselves on that. So now to have a week back there with their hospitality is going to be great for our guys. And I couldn't agree more with, their statement of, living and laughing and learning. I mean, that just ties into what we're all about, what I want these guys to really enjoy this thing and have a great time. And so really excited about that. It fits what we're all about here and the things that we have on tap for the kids educationally and even the College Football Hall of Fame. I was just back there the other day and really didn't get a chance. I went through it in 30 seconds and did some media stuff and left, and I can't wait to go back and really look at that whole setup as well. So I think it's going to be an awesome week besides the football.
Are there any sports we need to add from the Washington Olympics? Husky
well,
Olympics?
we might have to have a little conference after this and help you guys out there. But they seem pretty good on the surface.
Just your comments on some of the postseason accolades that have come towards your players.
Yeah, well deserved on what the kids have received. Proud of them. I think all those guys that have received awards have gotten better. I mean, that's the one thing. we don't, like I said, spend a bunch of time on that because I think sometimes there's some other awards that guys should have got or others should have been involved in stuff that I really feel strongly about, but I just know how it goes. So it's great for those guys that got mentioned and talked about, and but that's not why they're doing this. They're doing this to try to, win bowl games.
All right, we'll close it down right there. We'll set up for just a real